plantain has these little spikes of seeds, and these are the same things that people use nowadays, in a different form that you find in a drugstore, like for helping your bowels when you're needing to get a little help. So, like Metamucil, that kind of thing. So, those sort of things as can be used as grains when they can be thrown into anything that you're baking. So I do that, and I grow things like, amaranth, um, and other grains that I come up with, like, oats and that kinda thing. I just supplement whatever I'm using, and when I do use flours from the store, they're, like ancient grains and that kind of thing, and they're organic. Because I find when it comes to things like grains, you have to be careful, just as much as you do with anything else. So, especially those certain things like grains. Grains really absorb things like chemicals and so forth. So, think about that. Um, and when it comes to fruits and whatnot, I've been lucky. I've been able to, even with other gardens I've had, I've brought a lot of the samples of things that I had in my garden so they could regrow something else. So I've got, grapes growing, and I've got black berries. I've got raspberries. I've got rhubarb. Oh, rhubarb is unbelievable. I've got strawberries. I've got gooseberries. And I'm working on things like trying to get other things, other fruit. But those are things where you don't need a fruit tree. That's a big expense, and many people don't really know how to look after them. But these are like bushes and plants you can grow easily. So those sort of things are really good for your health. And as far as veggies, you can do it very simply. Um, for example, if you're eating a lot of carrots, a lot of greens, um, growing kale is easy enough. Growing green beans. I have scarlet runner beans that I grow that grow up a big trellis, and they produce these beautiful red flowers, which I grow because, first of all, they are prolific, but also the hummingbirds love them. They sit up there like as proud as all get out, waiting for another flower to come up. They really love it, and I do too. So, and peas, things like that are easy enough to grow. Um, and then there's beets, um, things like that are fairly common. And if you can't grow something like celery, which is on the list of the one of the dirty dozen contaminated types, make sure if you get it at the store, it's organic, because celery, you really got to watch that one. But there are other things you can grow, that taste like celery. And I have all that kind of stuff in my garden as well. I even have a bush that I was in another area of BC where this particular plant grows, and it's a bush. It's Saskatoon berries, and they're almost as good as blueberries, and prolific too. So this bush is now about 5 feet tall and doing very well, thank you. So it's another berry that I have that I love. But if you grow, if you have the space and you can make raised beds and whatnot where you don't have to be, bending over a lot, or if you are, it's not a lot. Those sort of things are great. But the containers, there's all kinds of containers you can use. I mean, I think I have a lot more fun with the containers because you can put them anywhere, and I do. Oh, yeah, and then there's the greenhouse thing if you've got the space. I've always had some form of a greenhouse, usually something that I built or made or something. And in this case, what I have now, uh, it's one of those, things that you would find out in the field, which is made for horses, where it gives them shade. And so that's the top of the greenhouse. So it's stretched, on aluminum frames, and, uh, and stands on, on the metal rods and whatnot. So what I ended up doing was getting those pallets and putting them all the way around the bottom part, and then attaching the frame, and then putting plastic all around the bottom area, and that worked really well. I put a screen door in the front, and it was all set. There's all kinds of things you can do like that. But, that's where I end up growing my tomatoes and my green peppers, and every year, that's a kind of a fun thing, try and play around with that. Right now, I've got 2 green pepper plants in my home, and they're so big. They're huge. But anyway, the season ended rather quickly, which it does here in BC, so I took 2 of them in. But that's kinda fun too, because you continue growing, right? So, that's what I did. Now, as far as the berries and the rhubarb and so forth, I make my own jam, because if you look at the jams that are in the store, the things that are in those jams are just, oh, and I like the thought that I can choose how much sugar goes into it and the kind of sugar, and I find that it's very healthy that way, and I make my own peanut butter. I just buy the peanuts and grind them up and throw in a bit of, extra virgin olive oil, and I've got my own peanut butter, and that's a lot healthier than anything you're gonna buy in the store, believe me. Things like that where it can make a difference to your health. And it's simple, it's fun. You can get your kids involved with that kind of thing. Um, I've always enjoyed that kind of thing, and learning about herbs is fun, especially the healing variety, like where you can actually use them to help yourself, making teas and that kind of thing. For me, when it comes to teas, um, I have uh, some things that grow wild, that just pop up for me, like chamomile, and it's an excellent tea. And I also have a tea plant, which is getting huge out there. And there's mint that you can use for teas, and other herbs, which I use all the time. So you're not short for that either. I mean, growing your own teas is fun. But like I say, you can also use herbs to help you, like if, your skin is dry, or if you've got a cut or something and you want it for healing, um, or you've got a burn, or, there's all kinds of things where you turn to the pharmacy, and really it's probably growing in your backyard somewhere, you just haven't investigated. You have to be careful where if you're picking these things, and you're not growing it yourself, you have to be careful where you're picking them. It has to be a place that is not contaminated, um, with, vehicles going by and that kinda thing. Um, there's all kinds of things in the air that can affect plants. Um, but if you have your own little, area, even one pot, throw in a bunch of sage and, oh gosh, oregano and dill, and, you name it. But those things also grow well in between all your veggies, because they help the veggies to fend off the insects that aren't good for them. So, think about that kind of thing. I know I do, and I love it. And I'll still keep doing that, growing a garden for as long as I can. So the sort of things that I end up buying in the grocery store are like, things that you would always run out of, like, that are regular things you buy. For example, maybe yogurt or something like, or milk if you drink it. I get a bit of Homo milk just to put in my, I have a probiotic drink that I drink, and I use it for that. But, and I put a little bit in my coffee because I allow myself some coffee once in a while. And things like the yogurt that I get has only about 3 ingredients in it. So, like I'm careful about that sort of thing. And the butter I get is organic. It's from cows that are grass-fed, that kind of thing. So, and I have a few things I use like supplements and whatnot, but I'm very careful about those. If you're buying online, go down to the bottom where it tells you all about the ingredients, because you'll find that there are a lot of ingredients that are extra that go into some of these things, and you don't want those. You don't, if it has all those extra things in it, you don't want it. That's why you've got to be so careful. And the sort of things that I do take, I know that maybe I might need like vitamin D. In this country, we need, especially in the winter, we need vitamin D, that sort of thing. A lot of B vitamins, though, you can get from your foods. And if you can get any of the vitamins from your foods, because you get quality, then go ahead and do that, because that's the best way to do it. And I always have concentrated on that first. So I do that. I use nutritional yeast, which I throw onto cereal that I have. And that has a lot of B vitamins, that kind of thing. Those are sort of things you have to think about, like where am I getting my vitamins, and how often do I put it into whatever I'm eating so that you get the benefit. And there's another thing, too, to consider when it comes to vitamins and supplements. If you're taking like a multivitamin, you're wasting your time because a lot of the multivitamins, first of all, don't have the dosage that you need. And mixing all of those vitamins all at once in one capsule is not good anyway for your system. It will not be able to take up the nutrients or the things that are in it to benefit you. And that is why it's better to take individual supplements for different reasons. And watch what vitamins you put together at the same time when you take them. Those are the sort of things that you have to really think about. For this one, it's just a kind of a starter to let you know what I do with food and to make you think a bit about what you're doing. And I'd love to hear from you to find out what that is. So I want to thank you for coming by, and I hope that some of the things I've said are helpful. Please subscribe to my channel. And thank you for watching my videos. And we'll catch you next time. Bye-bye.